Hey everyone, it's Samantha from Scrapmaster's Paradise, and today I'm going to show you a nice bright red, and then at the end I'll show you some color combos for other really good reds and some examples. Well, let me see. This image is from Wild Rose Studio. This one is called Starry Night, and it's one of their new releases for their winter collection of all these cute little Christmas elephants. So I've got this already started, and I'll show you. For the snow, I used BG quadruple 0. For the young elephant, I used B91 and 93. And then for the bigger elephant, I used B91, 93, and 95. Then I colored their ears and their little nails with C0 and C1. And so I just have left the stars and the sky and then their hats. So I'm going to color their hats in. Just going to get this turned and zoomed in. Okay, we'll do the big hat first. So for this bright red color combo, I've got R22, R24, R27, and R29. And when I'm doing reds, it's actually quite difficult to get a really nice red because they're harder to blend and they also bleed really easily. So my approach to doing reds is using a very light touch and starting with my darkest color. So I'm going to go ahead and use the R29, which is my darkest color, and I'm going to do shading around all the sides and this area here. I'm going to go very, very light, not go back over it, just start just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and do the whole thing, and I'll slowly blend it together. And if you can see, I'm leaving a little bit around the edges because in case it bleeds, I'm not going all the way out to that edge. This will just protect me from going over the lines. So one of the things with the reds is if you go over that line, it is so hard to blend those mistakes out with the colorless blender. Usually you can blend your colors back and push them back into the lines, but with reds it's pretty impossible. Just adding this around all these edges. And tiny little flicks, and then right where the fuzzy part will be blocking some of this color here, and then underneath where it folds it's all going to be darker red. Okay, I've got my darkest color down, and I'm going to move on to my next color. This is R27. Do the same thing except add a little bit more. I'm going out a little bit further, and when I'm adding this, it's also blending it slightly. You can see it's already starting to blend together just by adding this. And trying to go light, not going over the same place very much yet. So it's just blending as much as it can by itself. And then this last part here. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing with the R24 and just blend out a little bit further. And this time I'm not going to go all the way to the edge. I'm just going to blend where that R27 was, because reds can get kind of blotchy if you go over them too much. I'm just kind of going over the middle right now. I don't want to make anything blotchy. And you can already see it's getting a little bit blotchy around those edges, so we'll go back and clean that up. Right now we're just trying to get the color done. And R22 for the very middle. This is going to make it really blotchy for a second. Trying to lighten up that middle part. See? So now I'm going to go back with R27, which is my second to darkest color, and do some flicking, try to blend in that blotchy area. And this really starts making the color develop. Now I'm going all the way to the line, just being careful when I'm flicking. I'm not adding too much color near those edges. That gets rid of that blotchiness, and there's still light in the very middle. Okay, there's that, and then I'm going to go back in with my very darkest color, the R29, just add some darker areas still. So I'm using small flicks, just adding a little bit more contrast. And like any colors, you can still play with this a little bit, but the thing is you cannot blend as much with the reds because they just end up getting really blotchy. You've got to be really careful with your lighter colors in red. Okay, so that looks pretty good. It gives you an idea of how to do your blending. I'm going to take my R24 and just go over the whole thing, kind of evening everything out a little bit. And there you have it. So I tried to be careful around the edges, and I went out a little teeny tiny bit here and there, but those little teeny tiny ones can be fixed with the colorless blender. You just want to be very careful not to get big splotches outside the line. You can see I've got some bigger blue splotches, but those will be really easy to push back in with the colorless blender. If I did big huge blotches like that with the red, I would be kind of in trouble. So there's that one. And again, I'll share the color combo. I've got R22, R24, R27, and R29 for this one. I'm going to zoom out a bit. And then I've been coloring some of these little Christmas girls. This is part of my new stamp set called Filled with Cheer Emma. It comes with this character, a couple of accessories for her to hold, and then lots of cute little sentiments for Christmas. This is one I designed here. So let me zoom in a bit so you can see the red about her body there. This one I used R22, R27, and R29. So I skipped the R24 on this color combo. You can see it's still a nice, bright, cheery color. For this next one I did a darker red. It's more of a deep burgundy-ish color. Let's zoom in. For this one I used R29, R37, R89, and E08. And the E08 just helps blend in those darker colors here and here, where I'm adding those darker reds. You can see it just adds a lot of richness to the red when you add in one of those E's. There's that one. And then for this last one, I did a bright red with a little bit of darker around the edges for some contrast. For this one, I used R22, R27, R29, and R39. So that R39 created this really rich dark color on those parts. So there you have a bunch of red color combos and my technique for coloring reds. Thanks for watching. Bye.